Monday. Well, if you're looking at our camera, our Windows and More camera, you might think it's the afternoon. I mean, we're seeing some of those high clouds, also a little bit of sunshine trying to creep in. I don't know, it's just not looking like the morning for me. I think I'm just used to seeing that hue of like orange and yellow and pink with the sunrise, but not this morning. We're seeing some 60s though and 70s on the board, around 70 degrees in Parsons, also Joplin, and then some upper 60s off to our east on our Freeman Health First Alert Doppler. Now, earlier this morning to the north, we were seeing some stray showers. Those have since passed to the northeast, and now it's going to be a bit of a drier day for us, but also warm. Our temperatures are going to remain in the 80s and 70s, not only today, but over the next several days for us. So we'll see a little bit of a dip as we get into our weekend. We can expect some 60s to return, which will make it a bit more seasonable throughout the region. But those winds just getting started. It is going to be a gusty day for us. We'll see some winds close to about 40 miles an hour when it comes to those gusts, and sustained winds are expected to be between about 20 to 25 miles an hour today and tonight as well. But let's look at what's causing all of this. So we have a trough that's off to our west that's stirring up a lot of that wind activity, but we're also tracking a dry line. So this is more so off to our south. To the east of that is the moisture, and to the north of that is more of that cooler and drier air. Now, a cold front with this upper level low is going to reinforce a lot of these winds throughout the next several days for us, but a lot of the showers and storms are going to be moving in from the south. We're being influenced today by some of that moisture from the Gulf. Some of that is going to come in with that dry line. We'll see the showers and storms become a bit more organized as we get into tomorrow afternoon and then the evening as well, where we do have severe weather chances. But by tomorrow morning, I'd say a lot of this, isn't going to really come in just yet. Again, it'll be coming in more so our afternoon, and then we'll be tracking that all the way into the midweek mark. We'll start to see more influences from that upper level low pressure system. It'll continue to shift off to our north, and then some of this should start to kind of die down a little bit with the severe risk as we get into Thursday. Still tracking the chance to see some of these kind of resurge going into Wednesday afternoon and evening, but we're looking at a 2 out of 5 slight risk for us. Tomorrow, all threats are possible, but we're more so focused on some larger size hail and then some stronger winds up to about 60 to 70 miles an hour. Very low tornado threat for tomorrow, which is good. That could always change though, but as of right now, that is good news. And then as we get into Wednesday, still that 2 out of 5 slight risk. Now, this is more so right now estimated for the morning, but we could possibly see these reignite going into our afternoon and evening, and we have more storm chances on Thursday, just not expected to be severe as of now. Tomorrow, still also monitoring that marginal risk for some excessive rainfall. That is also going to be a threat for us as we push into the midweek mark, and it encompasses some of our region. Now, the multiple days of heavier rain could bring in some of these risks, and also the fact that we saw a lot of rain over the weekend, at least enough to bring some of those soils up to saturated rate, which increases the chances for flooding. But our highs for today were on the warmer side, around 80 degrees in Joplin and 83 in Grove, some 70s as well. But as we shift into this evening, we'll start to experience some lows for us in the 60s and 70s this evening. Now, here's a look at your KSM forecast from Local Weather Authority. High today around 80 degrees, so it'll be windy, but yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Well, it's been quite the cloudy day for us. You can see all of these cumulus clouds on our Windows and More tower cam. Now, we're probably not going to see any sunshine for it today. We got a little taste of that this morning, and maybe towards the latter part of our afternoon, we'll be treated to just a tad, but those clouds are going to continue to build in ahead of some showers and storms that are on the way for us. Now, we are seeing some 70s on the board for us currently, around 75 in Joplin, 74 in Parsons, and also to our west, 75 in Coffeyville. But on our Freeman Health First Alert Doppler, we are nice and clear right now, not looking at too much going on, but this morning, there were a couple stray showers off to our north. Now, the above average temperatures are set to last for most of this week. They should push all the way into really our weekend, and then by our weekend, we'll start to see some seasonable temperatures return back for us in the 60s. But I think, the temperatures have really not been that bad, especially with a lot of that cloud cover and showers and storms. It hasn't really been as noticeable, but maybe when that sun returns, we might feel a little bit warmer outside and that moisture as well. But speaking of moisture, so earlier this morning, we did see a little bit of that come in via the southwesterly winds that are continuing to bring in some of that moisture from the Gulf. Now, you can see we have been very windy for today, going to see those conditions push into this evening and then even tomorrow as well. But look at that right there. We're going to see a gust overnight close to 40 miles an hour, and some areas have already seen some gusts and sustained winds close to that as well. So what's stirring up all of this wind activity? Well, it's this trough that's off to our west, along with some low pressure that's continuing to influence the region. We're also very dry off to our west, seeing a lot of those fire weather advisories. So as we track though into the rest of our day and evening, we'll start to see a cold front continue to make its way closer to the region, carried off by an upper level low pressure system. As the system continues to move closer to the region, we'll be monitoring the south because that's where a lot of these showers and storms are expected to push in from. And we'll also be tracking this dry line as well. We'll see more of that moisture to the east of it and then some of that drier, cooler air to the west, really. So as it continues to get closer, we might see some of these get a bit more organized and possibly instability will pick up. That could bring in some chances tomorrow for some showers and storms that could turn strong to severe for us. There's about medium confidence to see some severe storms for tomorrow. Now, all threats are possible, but the main ones we're tracking as of tomorrow is going to be some larger size hail and then some winds as well. We could see some winds up to about 60 to 70 miles an hour, and there is a very low tornado threat for tomorrow, so that is good news as of right now. But as we push into Wednesday, the midweek mark, we see another slight risk 2 out of 5 for more chances to see some severe showers and storms, and those right now are looking more so in our morning on Wednesday. So Tuesday, we're looking towards the afternoon, and then Wednesday possibly in the early morning, and then possibly going into Wednesday afternoon and also evening. If we see a rebound in some of this activity, those storms could turn strong. We're also tracking a marginal risk not only tomorrow, but also going into Wednesday for some excessive rainfall, and some areas that are falling into the risk for that on both days might see some more strong risks for flooding. That is a severe threat for us, so you definitely want to be aware of that. And as always, we will keep you guys updated just when things are happening and also just kind of before that as well to get you guys prepared. But our highs for today, we're looking at about 80 degrees in Joplin, 82 in Parsons, and also 83 in Coffeyville. But shifting into this evening, lows are going to drop off a little bit. We'll start to see some 70s and also some 60s on the board as we shift into this evening. Now here's a look at your KSM forecast from Look Weather Authority. We're going to see a high today of around 80 degrees. It's very windy out there, warm as well. We've seen a little